Alright, so... excuse me, wait, are we still at Corvo Bianco? Did they just say they need a witcher around here at Corvo Bianco? The owner of this estate is a witcher. Thank you very much, madame. So rude. So rude. Was it this? No, I don't think it was this person. Maybe it was. One of our workers. Anyways. So, let us... I think we were talking about getting to the main quest soon. So that's definitely an option. Otherwise, we were also looking at some of the treasure hunts. Although there were some that were in areas where we were saying, we're probably going to end up going there soon anyway. It might just make sense to finish those treasure hunts when we go over there for other quests. Might not be all that important to make a point of going there just for the treasure hunt. So, and Witcher contracts... Oh, what about... Oh, the picnic. The picnic. Why don't we do this? I mean, we've done all the hard stuff for this Witcher contract, I would think, and, you know, just ease into things a little bit. Sit back, relax for a picnic. Why not? So it needs to be at noon, and it needs to be down here. Oh, we actually haven't been down there yet. That is kind of close to where the main quest is going to be, because that will be over here, so maybe it makes sense to go picnic, or even walk over here to get to the picnic area, and then once we're done, we'll head on over to do the main quest. Seems like that might be a decent way to go about it. The peasants don't know who owns the place? Come on. Come on. Yes, we don't really have any fast travel spots nearby here. I think we just take this one. We are not at a fast travel spot at the moment, though. So, I mean, there's one more or less right next door. What the heck? Somebody, it sounded like there was a pirate. Okay, we could also... Do we have any buffs up right now? Not really. While we're at Corvo Bianco, we might as well just take a second here to power up a bit. So we technically should sleep first, right? You sleep, and then you use the weapon rack and what have you. So we do this. Of course, you gotta do... You gotta do the good old-fashioned 720 before you sit down to sleep. Okay, so, I mean, it is 6 a.m. right now. We are going to want to go to this place at noon, but we're going to be walking a fair bit to get there, so I think we just make this as short a rest as possible, and we hope the timing lines up, but it may not. There's someone in our... Oh, really thought that was a person for a second. I was like, what are you doing here? Give us some personal space, please. But anyways... So now that we have rested up, we have a few buffs active. Let's also take a quick pit stop over here. Sharpen our weapons and polish our armor. Man, these guys, their dialogue is just ridiculous. Okay, so now, like for example, now we fast travel, and I think generally when we fast travel, even though we are technically fast traveling, a somewhat significant amount of time does typically pass. It's like it was 7 a.m. after we rested for an hour. Now it is... It's still 7 a.m. Okay, maybe not. So now we just run for it. I mean, I'm not really sure we're going to need a bunch of buffs for attending a picnic. Not sure we need our weapons fully sharpened or armor fully polished or whatnot. We could also hop on Roach if we really wanted to go as quickly as possible. We have been through some of this area before, but not all of it. So that means that there's potentially some new things for us to come across. Like, we've been up a little bit further north toward where the main quest is. But I don't think we've gone much down this primary path here, which is probably more or less the route we're going to take here. Apparently we've been in this cave, though I don't really remember when or where or what that was for. So I think we're just more or less speeding down the pathway here, and if we happen to come across anything along the way, then great. But we might minimize the exploration to a certain extent, at least for now. Just try to benefit as much as we can out of those buffs that we have up, since, you know, we have the opportunity to do so. So why not? I do remember previously we went through Mirkwood, because I was like, what? Are we entering the Lord of the Rings here? Have we spoken to these people, though?
Hey, welcome!
I don't think so, because we've not yet taken their grilled pork. Alright, now let's head on out.
Come on. Which or not, you still bust.
Wine Wars is also close. Yeah, we could do that as well. That was one that, I mean, there was a lot of build up to it, right? Because we did basically 2 side quests, and then they've now led into a third one. Okay, we're now in town. But that third one was significantly higher level, so I was thinking maybe it would make sense to delay a little bit for that reason. But we have already delayed some. So maybe it's about time. Let's see what's in this area first, though. Take a look around town. Like a lumber yard. Anything under the bridge? Next time. Next time, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And by next time, I mean absolutely under this bridge without question. And by that, I mean, if not this bridge, then definitely the next bridge. Because there's always something under the bridges. There's always something under the bridges, unless there's not something under the bridges, in which case there's something under the next bridge. Very funny game. Very funny. Okay, how many of these buildings can we actually go inside? Are they all locked? No, this one's not. Let their oven running? Let's punch it for good measure. I'm actually just trying to loot this thing directly in front of us. Maybe we hop on the running oven in order to loot this. It's a spice rack. It's cool. What about here? Grain? Yeah. I mean, we're probably most interested in seeing if there's anything or anyone that has additional quests for us in this area, because this is our first time going to this little village. So that would be the most interesting thing. But we'll, you know, just generally explore around, see if there's anything interesting for us to loot as well. What have you, the usual. Let's also read up a little bit on this town. So it's FRANCOLLARTS. The Caraberta Woods are named after Toussaint's reigning Duchess's grandmother, Duchess Carolina Roberta, who loved organizing elaborate games of hide-and-seek in this forest. They love hide-and-seek, don't they? It is very much a part of their culture, it would seem. A small trapper's post located on its outskirts has grown into the tranquil village known as FRANCOLLARTS. Here, hunters, woodcutters, and beekeepers come to sell the fruit of their woods. The village springs to life once a year when Baron Trastamara organizes his annual wood festival and invites all the court for a spectacular hunt. Okay. So it sounds like a little bit more the rural town feel rather than the built-up city life of Beauclair. All with the woodcutters and farmers and beekeepers and all that. We go in here? Nope. But, can we go in here? Yes. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with fire. Okay, now we're not. It would be interesting to see if we just never sold any wine. Oh, we can go upstairs. If we never sold any wine, we could get a pretty good count of just how much there is in Toussaint. Because I think the answer is absolutely an astronomical amount. Because just about everyone has at least a couple bottles of wine. You know, once upon a time, it was, what, the alchemy powder or paste or whatever it's called, the dwarven spirit, and one or two other things that were the most common things for us to loot from random chests. But that has definitely changed now in Toussaint. The answer is now absolutely wine of various varieties. And admittedly, I've not been having the most organized approach to going building by building here, so I may very well be checking out a place that we were just in. This looks familiar. I'm pretty sure this is the place we're just in. Yeah, it's the one next to Roach. It is. Okay. So, let's try going this way then. This looks like this is more so the center of town. Or at least approaching it. Also, a somewhat concerning amount of caskets. There's the wine, as one expected. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Nope, nope. Down the ladder, Geralt. Thank you. Okay. It's that building. Oh, what do we have here? Can we go in here? Yeah, is that the same building, or is this just, like, the basement? Is it? Did we just come in from a different angle? Got some more herbs. It may have just been a different angle. I think it was, yeah. There is a notice board here. We will definitely want to check that out. See if we can get any additional quests out of it. There is, in theory, a blacksmith over here. An armorer. We did just recently do that at home, but probably chat with you. And, maybe able to play you at Gwent. Oh my god, his hair.
What's that?
We can play you at Gwent. Let's see what you have first.
Mind showing me your wares?
Yeah, I know casket is not necessarily a coffin. In the US, that's pretty much the only way we use that word, though. Like, I think that might be a little bit of a translation thing where, sure, there may be other uses for a casket, but in the US, if you're using the word casket, you are almost 100% of the time referring to a coffin. I don't know if I've ever heard someone in the US use that word without intending to mean coffin. So I know it's not necessarily the case, but it does just sound a little strange is all. Okay, as for things we can sell to this person, I think we have a fair bit of armor that we don't really care about. All this stuff here can probably go. This is heavy, so we definitely don't want to be holding on to that. Same with this. This light armor, we've been holding on to the New Moon gear for a while now. We got that, what, maybe like 2/3 of the way through Hearts of Stone. And so it definitely could get replaced soon, but I would think that we might just wait until we get the Grandmaster Witcher gear. And, you know, anything that we do in the meantime is basically just a very temporary change that doesn't make a huge difference, so I think we just hold out. So, you know, I say that because this one has a very minor armor boost, yes, but it misses out on a lot of the other things that we like on our existing armor, like the critical bonus and the gold bonus and what have you. So for that reason, I think we will still sell these things, even if they have some stuff going for them. This guy does not have a ton of monies. Wow, that pretty basic sword. These are usually like the trash tier. Still some for 170. That's impressive. Okay. And I think this was also just a random one that we picked up, although you can't afford that right now. Is there anything else we could buy from you, or anything we could break down to give you a little more money so that we could change that? I think we've seen all of these saddles and whatnot, because that is something that we've been keeping an eye out for, is cool new looks to our gear, including saddles. Is there anything that we particularly want from this guy, though, that we could do just to give him just enough money to turn around and sell him that one relatively large sword? Not sure we really need any of these valuable gems. And I think, like I said, we've bought all those horse upgrades or alternate looks, so let's just see if we can break something down real quick. We could even break this down, although that's not exactly the best stuff we get out of it. To break down Iris's sketchbook to get a book? Oh no. Oh no. Pouch filled with florins. I don't remember what that's for, but it does give us some silver ingot, which is not bad. We could break down more of our valuables that we've recently picked up, or even the silver pantaloons. Yeah, those we should definitely break down, right, to get the silver? Let's do that. And maybe the silver caskets that we were talking about before, or the gold plates. Let's do that. Now this guy, I think we'll have just enough to buy those things from us. We can also break down some of our random hides, because those are not super important for us. Yeah. Let's go. This should be enough. Now let's go back to selling. I think, yeah, because this was 265. Okay. So now we can dump that. And are these swords we want to be holding on to? Chalmers. Oh, I think we were thinking of putting this up in one of our trophy cases or weapon cases at home. Would probably like to sell this as well. So maybe we just break down a little bit more. We did have a fair bit of junk that we could break down to give him a little more monies. And as for our silver and copper and stuff, sometimes those are better to just sell outright. So if we have other alternatives, I'd probably prefer to dismantle those instead. Let's get a bunch of iron, I suppose. And it will, of course, also reduce our inventory weight a bit. That should help. Don't know if we need to really break that down, though. Oh, meteorite. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're looking to give him, like, just over 300 monies. Just take our money so that we can turn around and sell you more things. Please. Need a little bit more, though. Would go for some of the more expensive stuffs. Don't remember picking up these pompadour necklaces and bracelets. Huh. You can actually sell the odorous peacock feathers or break them down. Interesting. Break down other junk. And you're at just over 300 at this point. I don't remember exactly how much the thing we're looking to sell to you was gonna cost. But this should just about do the trick, I would think. So we'll break that down for glass. Not sure that even matters much, but... Now we should be able to sell this. Yes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So now we lightened our load a little bit. So now, I believe we are ready to play you at Gwent. We could display the New Moon armor at home. That's true. I don't know. We've used it for a while, but I'm not sure what I think of the aesthetics of it, because it's very simple looking. It's just basically not technically black, jet black, but it's very dark, simple, no extravagant patterns at all, so it looks kind of ninja-y, but is that better than some of the other things we have back at home? Like, we could put up Witcher gear, although that's probably going to be more so stuff that we actually want to have directly in our inventory. We have, what else? The robes from the wedding, which I think is I would probably prefer that. We have the Order of the Flaming Rose armor, which I do like, although we only have a chest plate and gloves for that, so we're still looking for really a lower half to that. I mean, maybe we could put New Moon on the bottom half. New Moon pants might sort of look okay with that. So, I don't know. I mean, it's been good. The armor has been good statistically. I'm just not sure if aesthetically it has enough going on to make it into the top 3 or 4 armors that we have from an aesthetics standpoint. But anyways, let's do some Gwent here. Let's go all in.
Gwent, interested in a round or two?
Oh yeah, of course. Why not?
Jewel-encrusted galligaskins, the latest rage.
It's so weird how they have their dialogue for when you play Gwent after you open up this screen, rather than the part where they're just like staring at you, nodding their head. You'd think that would be the part where they would respond. But we've been doing Skellige as of late, and we've been refining the deck a little bit. There was a time when it was absolutely humongous. Then we pared it down a bit. I think it has since grown back somewhat after we put in something like the Clan Demon Pirate. Maybe can be? No, we added that a little while ago. But I think we'll still maybe give this one a shot. Let's go for it. And they're Northern Realms. Okay, and that is the Siege Northern Realms, right? I think that's what that leader building was. Okay, so Cow is good for carryover. Martyrum, do we have Berserkers? We have at least one. Berna's a medic. We have one Type Bond, but only one. So I think that means probably looking to dump you. Really? Really now? Okay, so if we had swapped someone else out, we would have gotten the other one. But so be it. Try swapping you again, and we got, okay, Mysterious Elf. That does work well. So we go first. And just verify real quick here. This is the Siege leader ability, right? Yeah, double Siege row. Okay. So I think that means we'll want to try to save you for when they use their leader ability and get some huge units in their Siege row. That'll be our counter. But I mean, we don't have any muster, I don't think, at this point. In which case, that should mean that the Spy is safe to play early. So let's just play this and see what we get out of it. So that can help us make up our mind for future rounds. Now we got some Type Bond without the pairs to go along with them. Okay, so that's a weak siege unit, but it is a supporting siege unit. Yeah, these are Type Bond, so they aren't great by themselves, unfortunately. So definitely not the best Mysterious Elf we could have gotten. But I'm thinking now we go Cow. Really? Really now? Is that so? It's a little early. Looks a little silly at the moment. Doubling up your only unit in the siege row, which has 1 strength. We could proceed to... Oh no, actually, we wouldn't destroy. We would destroy ourselves if we played our pirate here. But, So... think we probably do want to go with our Berserker and transform it with Martyrum in this round. It's probably for the best. That way we can bring it back in future rounds with our multiple medics if necessary. So let's do that now. Okay, oh, that is unfortunate. We take the leader ability that halves the effectiveness of bad weather conditions. Okay, we did. It's not as bad as it would normally be. And I think we do still want to use Martyrum here. I mean, maybe not immediately, but we definitely want to make sure that we use it this round at some point. So that way we get this guy to transform. Because that was the reason why we wanted to play him in round 1. As for right now, maybe we just get a few more points out there with something like Hjalmar. I did not remember he was in the Ranger. I mean, it doesn't really matter for heroes, but for some reason I was convinced he was melee. Okay, so they follow with a hero of their own. And I mean, I'm a little hesitant to do it now because look at how powerful you are when you transform. You're like an 8, and then you'll get halved down to 4 or something along those lines. And I'd like for you not to get scorched. I mean, we could bring you back with a medic, but I'd like to save those for round 2 if possible, or potentially round 3. Then again, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it now, because we also have our other bear. Yeah, so you do get halved down to a 4. Okay, yeah, and there's the scorch we were expecting. So we can bring him back if we wanted to with one of our 2 medics. The other reason why I was thinking it'd be okay would be because we have Olaf here, and Olaf is probably a little more important, at least in this round. So maybe we play Olaf now, and then depending on how they react, we may play a medic to bring back the card they just destroyed. Or alternatively, we wait because, hey, they've nerfed the melee row, so, or they've nerfed the range row, so why focus on playing all of our range cards now? I mean, in that case, yeah, it may even make sense to go a completely different route here. Maybe we try instead playing something in Siege. That's kind of in its own boat here. Obviously, yes, it's type bond, so it would be best if we could pair it with the other one, but I don't think at this stage have any way of making that happen. Okay, and they had another Scorch as well. So I think, that's not one of our stronger cards. That's fine for them to Scorch that. Much rather they do that than Scorch Olaf. So now they still have a lead here. I'm thinking we just do little plays that are just enough to pass them, in which case the Shield Maiden is a pretty good fit. And again, ideally this would be a card that gets played through Ceres, but we don't have Ceres here, and I don't think we have any ways of getting Ceres. So I think we just settle for this, and it's enough to pass them. But they'll keep on playing. And they use their leader ability in the Siege row, and I was laughing at how early they did it and how it did basically nothing at the time. It gave them 1 additional point. I was assuming that they would then follow up by playing additional Siege cards, but they haven't done so. So, it's looking like a pretty pathetic leader ability at the moment. And, I mean, we still can't play you. You'll just destroy yourself. We could play Berna and probably use her to bring back the transformed young Vildkarl. You would, again, go back to that range, that range row and get cut in half from 8 to 4 strength, which is not great, but it is, of course, enough. Actually, is it? Would be at, just enough, in fact. Ooh, I do like that. The math works out quite well in our favor here. Let's go for this. Go Berna, and then the Vildkarl. I mean, I suppose bringing back the Longship was more points. It's just that there's the potential synergy of putting Olaf in the range row here and boosting up both these cards, at which point it's tied with playing the Longship. Okay, what did they went with, was it Philippa they just played? So they did pass us there. So our biggest point slam at the moment is either Ciri or Yennefer into that Longship. They're starting to run out of cards here. So, I mean, both of those are sort of overkill. How many points is this in total? This would be lowered down to, assuming we play it in the range row. Though actually, tell you what, at this point we could play it just as effectively, even more effectively, in the melee row. It would be the full 12, and then it would boost you guys one apiece, so it'd be 14. So that's actually our biggest, or no, close to Ciri for our biggest play. It would make it very difficult to play our pirate. Maybe we do that this round so that it's easier to effectively use this pirate in a future round. Especially if we save a couple of heroes and the pirate, then it'll be much harder for that to backfire on us. Let's go for this now, in that case, I think. Surely they don't have 3 Scorches, right? Okay, here come units in their siege row. And they did, in fact, in doing so, now get the highest card on the playing field. So that means we could play you to destroy that card, and that is awfully tempting. That's awfully tempting. Because, I mean, Ciri and Yen are both some of our biggest plays, and this is situational. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So I think we take this opportunity to make it work. So otherwise we'd be at risk of having it backfire at us in a future round. And I have to imagine it'll pass here. No! Oh man. I mean, we could have destroyed a stronger card had we waited, but of course I wasn't really expecting them to keep on playing here. They're going super aggressively. But I think we go for this here, because we have the carryover from the cow, so even if we played every single card that we have, we would still be able to get some points in round 2, and even then, if we can't win, if we win round 1 but can't win round 2, we'll still get our faction ability kicking in round 3, playing some cards from our discard pile. So I think we're actually in a very good position for a short round 2 and or short round 3. So yeah, I think I'm fine playing Ciri then. And do they play their last card? I mean, they can't. Yeah, if they do that, they have no way of winning. So that means we'll take round 1. And this is making for a very interesting match here. So there is the cow turning into the bovine defense force. There's our 8 strength. So I think what we do here is we just immediately pass and dare them to see if they can pass us with that one card that they have. Is it worth more than 8 power? We're about to find out. Even if it is, like I said, we'll get the additional value from our faction ability kicking in round 3. Not to mention having Yennefer and the ability to bring a card back with Yennefer because she's a medic. So I think that's a great ace to have up our sleeves. What can they do with this last card? It's Yennefer. Okay, it will be enough in that case, I have to imagine. So they were doing basically the same thing as us. Okay, well done. Now, they're Northern Realms. They will draw an additional card when they win a round. They will have 1 card here, but we'll get 2 on the playing field, so we still beat them out in that case. We got... Wait, so one of the cards that got played there was Berna. Does that mean that we get to bring a card back from our graveyard? Is that what this is right now? I think so. In which case, I guess we go Olaf? Please? Melee row. But it wasn't. We don't get to pick. Okay. Unfortunate. But yeah, that is cool that if we randomly get a medic out there, then we are allowed to bring a card back. And their only card, the one that they randomly drew at the beginning of the round from their Northern Realms faction ability, was Commander's Sword. With no units. Okay. So now we play our Yennefer, and with it, I guess we'll go transformed young Vildkarl. And there we go. Interesting match. Quite unique, the sort of feel of that one, but that was fun. Let's see what card we get out of that. Shield Maiden. Oh, that's very good, right? Because that's the type of card that Sarah summons. And we had, what, 2 out of the possible 3, and now this is the 3rd. And they power themselves up. They get doubled whenever you play another one of the Shield Maidens, so to have 3 of them is ginormous. So that's very big. Awesome. Okay. We just made our best card significantly stronger. Yeah, I think there are a few different approaches you can take. You know, you can go with the Martyrum plus the Berserkers. You can go with, there's some muster and the Ceres plus Shield Maidens. I mean, that's mostly just a matter of, do you get Ceres? If so, you win. If not, then you don't. But, or, you know, that's much harder if you don't. But, yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. It's starting to get more of a unique feel to it. Whereas at least at the beginning it was more so like, okay, just throw in all of our best neutral cards, and it kind of just feels like more or less the same thing that we would be using on our other factions, just very small differences with a couple of cards. But now as we're starting to get more and more of the Skellige specific cards, it takes on more and more of its own flavor. What do we have here? Wine, of course. What else would it be? How do we get out? Here. What about this side? Going here? Yeah. Come on, Geralt. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure what we got stuck on there, but it was something. For a second there, I thought we were going to be falling for the rest of our lives on who knows what in the middle of this random person's house. Is there a ladder in here? Oh. More veggies. I think there's a way out. Yeah, I'm deliberately waiting to go to the actual quest thing till we've more or less done our due diligence. Checked out all the various things there are to check out. Can we go in here? Yeah. Yeah, this village has been pretty good in the way of being able to actually go into buildings. We read this? The Ducal Chronicle Volume whatever? 2nd edition amended. In the month preceding the celebration surrounding the Festival of the Vat, the ducal couple and a delegation of notables embarked on a neighborly visit to the Yes, we have. We have. But yeah, we've seen... I was saying it a little while ago, but it appeared as though in Toussaint, generally speaking, many of the buildings we were not able to go into, or at least a much higher percentage of the buildings were locked than we saw in, say, Novigrad. Here, there's a ladder. Or Velen, or what have you. I mean, like in Velen, for example, you could go in just about every building. Whereas this time around, this feels more like the Velen situation where we've been able to go into just about all these places. He says as he walks into a locked door. We're trapped in here for the rest of our lives! Okay. I think that's almost everything. We may not have been in this building yet. Maybe that barn, but that might be the last of it. This is locked, okay. Well, now the game is going to be like, oh, really, Lids? You don't say. That was a big jump. I legitimately thought we were about to take a lot of damage. This house is technically in the woods, I'll have you know. It is not in the village. Is that a ladder? No. Okay, I think we're now ready to go.